Welcome back. I'm Josh Reef. Today I want to speak about a principle that lives underneath every room you enter, every conversation you have, every decision you make, and every opportunity you are given. The energy behind the action. In the last episode, we spoke about building the vessel before the blessing. The vessel is the structure, the preparation, the discipline, the capacity to carry more. Today I want to go one level deeper. Once the vessel is being built, what are you placing inside it? What intention is moving through your work? Because the outer action is only one part of the moment. The inner intention gives that action its quality. There is an old word for this, kavanah, directed intention. The focus behind the action. The inner alignment behind the words. The quiet energy a person brings before the first sentence is even spoken. And that matters because people feel more than they hear. A client feels your energy before they understand your strategy. A seller feels your steadiness before they agree with your price. A buyer feels your presence before they trust your guidance. A room responds to the intention you bring into it. That is the episode. How intention shapes energy. How energy shapes the room. How the room shapes the conversation. And how a person moves through life with cleaner intention begins to experience ordinary encounters as something much more than meaningful. There is a basic way to say that everything happens for a reason. Then there is a deeper way to live it. The deeper way is more disciplined. It says every encounter may be carrying an assignment. Every conversation may be giving me something to refine. Every challenge may be asking for a higher response. Every person in front of me may be part of my development. When you begin living from that place, life becomes less mechanical. Business becomes less transactional. Real estate becomes more than listings, calls, contracts, escrows, and closings. It becomes a field of refinement, a place where your patience gets trained, your judgment gets sharpened, your courage gets called forward, your standards become visible, your intention gets tested in real time. That is where this becomes practical. Before a listing appointment, there is always a moment before the moment. Maybe you are sitting in the car. Maybe you are reviewing the comps. Maybe you are looking at the front door before you walk in. That pause matters because you can enter the room with intention to impress, or you can enter with intention to understand. You can enter trying to win approval, or you can enter with the intention to bring clarity. You can enter carrying pressure, or you can enter carrying steadiness. The appointment may look the same from the outside. Same suit, same folder, same market data, same presentation, same handshake. But the room feels different. A presentation built to guide has a different energy than a presentation built to perform. A pricing conversation rooted in truth has a different weight than one shaped around convenience. A follow-up sent with care feels different than one sent from habit. A negotiation guided by stewardship carries a different atmosphere than one driven by tension. The action is visible. The intention gives it soul. And that is true far beyond real estate. The same words can bring peace or pressure depending on the intention behind them. The same text message can create clarity or confusion. The same meeting can become transactional or meaningful. The same delay can become frustration or formation. The same challenge can become a place where something inside of you gets elevated. That is why intention matters. Intention is direction. And energy, it follows direction. When the intention is clear, the action becomes clearer. When the action becomes clearer, the room becomes calmer. When the room becomes calmer, people can hear the truth with more openness. They can make decisions with more stability. They can trust guidance because the energy behind it feels aligned. That is leadership. And in luxury real estate, leadership is felt in the atmosphere. High-level clients listen to your words, but they're also reading your presence. They are measuring your pace, your restraint, your command, your emotional tone, your relationship to pressure. They want to know if you can hold the room. A serious seller may be carrying fear or pride or uncertainty. They might be carrying financial pressure or family dynamics or years of attachment to a property. A serious buyer may be carrying urgency, ambition, hesitation, or doubt. A complicated escrow may carry tension between people who all want a clean result but are standing in different emotional positions. Your intention becomes the instrument. Are you there to bring order? Or are you there to elevate the room? Are you there to serve the outcome? Protect the client? Are you there to bring truth with dignity? That distinction, it changes everything. And this is where the idea of coincidence becomes more sophisticated. Some conversations arrive with strange timing. A person calls when you are already thinking about them. A deal changes direction and reveals a better path. A difficult client teaches you exactly the patience you need. A quiet season gives you the space to rebuild your standards. And a random introduction becomes important 6 months down the road. A sentence someone says at dinner stays with you because something inside it was meant for you. And from the surface, it looks ordinary, but underneath it, it may be carrying instruction. The more awake a person becomes, the more they start to notice that life speaks in encounters. The assignment is often hidden inside of the interruption. The refinement is often hidden inside the inconvenience. The next level is often hidden inside the conversation you were tempted to rush through. So the question becomes very practical. What energy am I bringing into this moment? That question can change a day. Before the call, what energy am I bringing? Before the meeting, what energy am I bringing? Before the showing, what energy am I bringing? Before the difficult conversation, what energy am I bringing? Before I respond to disappointment, what energy am I bringing? Because the same moment can be lowered or elevated by the person who enters it. That is serious responsibility, and it is also a privilege. You can walk into a tense room and bring calm. You can enter confusion and bring structure. You can meet fear and bring clarity. You can face delay and bring patience. You can encounter success and bring humility. You can receive opportunity and bring gratitude. You can experience pressure and bring dignity. That is how intention becomes spiritual work dressed in ordinary life. This is especially important in business because business can easily become purely outcome driven. Get the listing, close the escrow, win the client, secure that commission, grow the brand, build the pipeline. Those goals matter, but the deeper question is what kind of person is being built through the pursuit. The goal matters. The way you carry the goal matters just as much. Ambition becomes elevated when the intention behind it becomes cleaner. I want to succeed so I can serve better. I want to earn more so I can build more responsibly. I want to grow because growth gives me more opportunities to bring value. I want influence because influence can be used with dignity. I want a stronger business because a stronger business allows me to move with more freedom, generosity, and command. That kind of intention changes the energy of ambition. It purifies it. It gives it direction. It makes success feel like grasping and more like stewardship. That is a different level of business, and it starts quietly. It starts before the email, before the phone call, before the appointment, before the negotiation, before the post, and before the decision. It starts with the inner question. What am I here to bring? Clarity, service, truth, order, steadiness and courage, respect and elevation. Those are clean intentions. And when those intentions become consistent, people begin to experience you differently. They may describe you as calm. They may describe you as prepared. They may describe you as thoughtful. They may describe you as strong. But underneath those words, what are they really feeling is alignment. Your outer action and inner intention are moving in the same direction. That is powerful. A person with alignment becomes easier to trust. A business with alignment becomes easier to recommend. A brand with alignment becomes more than a look. It becomes a reputation. That is why I care about this, because I am realizing more and more that the work is deeper than doing more things. It is doing the right things with cleaner energy. A market update sent with real thought has weight. A seller call made with presence has weight. A pricing recommendation grounded in truth has weight. A showing handled with care has weight. A follow-up delivered with precision has weight. And even a simple conversation can carry weight when the intention is clean. And sometimes that simple conversation becomes the point. Maybe the person becomes a client. Maybe they become a referral source, or they become a friend. Maybe they teach you something. Maybe they test something in you. Maybe they simply needed to experience one honest, grounded interaction that day. You may never know the full purpose of the encounter, and you can still honor it. That is where the spiritual idea becomes very practical. You move through the day with more awareness. You treat people with more dignity. You speak with precision. You listen with patience. You make cleaner assumptions. You begin to understand that the moment in front of you may be carrying more than the calendar says it is carrying. That awareness raises the standard. When the standard rises, the energy changes. So here is the framework I would like to use this week. Before every meaningful interaction, set one clear intention. Before the client call, choose clarity. Before the listing appointment, choose service. Before the negotiation, choose steadiness. Before the follow-up, choose care. Before the difficult conversation, choose truth and dignity. Before the quiet work, choose devotion to the standard. That is simple. It is also transformative. Attention scattered everywhere creates scattered energy. Intention gathered clearly creates directed energy. And directed energy is one of the most powerful forces a person can bring into a room. This also changes the way you handle challenges. When something uncomfortable happens, the first question can become more elevated. What is the assignment inside this? What quality is being asked of me right now? Is this moment asking for patience? Is it asking for courage, for restraint? Is it asking for a cleaner conversation? Is it asking for a stronger boundary? Gratitude? Humility? Is it asking for action? That question turns life into training. It turns pressure into refinement. It turns ordinary encounters into places of elevation. That is the deeper point. Every encounter carries on an assignment. Every room gives you a chance to bring something higher into it. Every conversation gives you an opportunity to refine the energy behind your words. Every challenge gives you a place to practice becoming the kind of person who can carry more. The vessel gives you capacity. Intention gives you direction. The vessel holds the blessing. Intention shapes what the blessing becomes through you. That is the progression. First, build the vessel. Then purify what moves through it. A person can have structure and still be invited into deeper alignment. A person can have talent and still be refined by cleaner intention. A person can have opportunity and still be called to carry it with more steadiness. And that is growth. That is leadership. That is the spiritual architecture expressed through practical life. So as you move through this week, pay attention to the moment before the moment. The breath before the call, the pause before the text, the silence before the meeting, the thought before the response. That is where intention is set. That is where the energy begins. And when you elevate that private moment, You elevate the public one that follows it. That is the work. Enter the room with clarity. Enter the conversation with dignity. Enter the opportunity with gratitude. Enter the challenge with steadiness. And enter the unknown with trust. And allow your intention to become clean enough that the energy you bring becomes part of the blessing itself. I'm Josh Reef. This is the Josh Reef Real Estate Podcast, a place for sharper judgment, calmer leadership, and the quiet architecture of a better real estate business. Subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll see you on the next one.